So if you've been watching my videos, you would know, let me just adjust this a little bit, you will know that I'm kind of struggling with this layout, but I'm not giving up yet because the fact is it still works for me when I'm writing in it. Before the pen and like planning doesn't seem to work that great for me, but I'm still going to work on it. I'm still going to try, and I hope you'll stick around. So let me take these pages off the discs. Okay, now I'd love the black on this. I love how neutral it is. And I want to use the tissue paper from the latest Be Happy box, the little bloom box. So let's see, I do have some that I already cut up here a little bit when I made my laptop cover, if you saw that video. I have to make sure not to crunch this too much as I'm trying to talk through it. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's see, I want to tear it. Yeah, I'm just gonna start ripping it a little bit. Always makes me nervous because this tissue paper is so pretty. Right now, I'm just tearing off a corner because I'd like to put it down like this. I think maybe I want it to be a little bit smaller, like that. Let me see here. Oh, it looks like I was using the wrong side. Okay. So I think I'd like it to be a little bit smaller like this, but what I'm also trying to figure out is normally when I would work on a corner like this, I would also kind of do this corner, but I can't really do that because then I would be covering up the dates and all of this. So I should probably do this corner over here so that I can then kind of come up and do this one. So let me put this here for now. I know that that's still covering up a bit and I definitely need more room there to write. So let me rip off another corner from here, and I'm going to want this one to be a little bit smaller than that other one. It's never really easy to rip tissue paper exactly the way you want it, so we'll just rip bigger. I'd rather rip bigger and cut it than take off too much. Okay, so obviously that's way too big, but let's see, I don't really have the florals in that one either. Okay, let me think for a second. Okay, let me rip a little bit more. All right, this video is more like a rip with me than a plan with me. Well, that didn't work at all the way that I wanted it to. Darn. Okay. So I have an idea. I'm going to try something. I don't know if it will work, but I'm going to try it anyway. First up, I'm just going to put this adhesive down on the edge of the page, just on this corner right here. Let's see. Okay, and I think make sure I'm still lined up properly here. Okay. I think if I just cover this part and then I can kind of have a little bit more grip when I tear, although wait, that wouldn't work because I need to be able to see it. All right, let's see how this goes. I haven't written in this yet. I'm filming this now and it is Friday, so that is last week's spread that I haven't finished yet. I usually fill in my wellness planner right before bed, and I have not gone to bed yet. It's not really working. All right, let me cut this part. All right, was really determined to not make this week's wellness video a complete disaster. So I hope you'll hang out with me while I try to make that goal a reality. Okay. So I have this part here, but I kind of want to do some more ripping because I can't see that it's Thursday. All right, there we go. Okay, now I'm just going to put some more adhesive down, and it looks like I messed up where I put it. Maybe I'll just have to put something over that so it's not too sticky. Okay, one little itty bitty quarter down. I'm not planning on doing too much because, like I mentioned, you know, most of the time with this spread or with this layout, I do want plenty of room to write. So, especially this day, it's my niece's birthday, her 5th birthday, which I don't know where in the world the time went, but she's 5. Okay. So, I think I can probably put this down over here. I'm trying to decide right now if I want to cover up that line a little bit, and I think I'm going to. I'm just going to, as usual, use my Avery True Block label paper, and right now I'm just kind of cutting up random lines to put here. It doesn't really matter to me how perfect these lines are because I'll be covering them up. Okay, let's try that again. Let's see maybe how much of this I want to cover. Okay, that should be plenty. And it wouldn't be the end of the world if the black showed through, but I don't want it to. Okay. I don't really like this down here, I have to say. I wish there was more. It's probably too late to pull up. Let me see. I think I'm just gonna try to do it anyway. I can always put more tissue paper on top of it. But I'm telling you, I'm not ready to give up yet on this layout. Okay, that didn't work. All right, let me think. Next up, all right, now instead of that, I think I'm just gonna put this down. I don't think a spread has happened yet. Maybe one of my skinny spreads that I haven't used this label paper on. Okay, this way, since I can't pull up the tissue paper, I'm just kind of giving myself a blank canvas, and I'm not concerned about writing in the lines or covering up the lines since I'll be covering that up with tissue paper anyway. Okay. So let's go for another corner. I hope I don't use all of this tissue paper on this spread. I feel like in the past it's been much easier to rip this. Or you know what? I must be thinking of ripping scrapbook paper because in the fall I was doing that a lot also. Okay, so my goal in ripping it this time was to make the bottom much longer so that I'd be able to kind of spread it out more. So before I tape this one down, let me do a little tiny bit more tearing. Okay, this is not as easy as it looks, if it looks easy. I'm clearly struggling quite a bit. Okay, rip this part off and just tear there. Okay, so this is kind of like a jagged edge, but hopefully once it's really down, you won't be able to see how jagged it is. So I think I'm gonna cut this first this time before I tape it down. if that was the best idea. There's still some sticky going on. Okay. This tissue paper is so delicate. All right, now I have a little bit more room to work with. So let me do that again. And we'll do this side again. And then I'm just gonna have to be happy with it. I think this part right here. The other thing I was thinking about doing that I've seen many talented planner people do is color in either on top of the tissue paper or behind the tissue paper to make it bright and colorful, which I would love to try at some point, but since I'm already struggling with this layout, I didn't want to go too crazy with it. I was thinking of trying it in my classic for this week, but this week was my collaboration with Mary Ellen of Planning with Bumble. That video is up on my channel, and that was really fun. Her followers picked 3 sticker books for me to plan in, and mine picked 3 for her to plan in. Okay. These scissors are getting a little bit sticky. I need to look up a way to remove some of that adhesive. All right, we have 1 sticker down. Okay, and then this one we'll probably put a little bit less on. So put this down. And this one too. And then, like I said, I want to give myself plenty of room to write in this spread, or on this day. Oops. Let's see. Okay. Now, I should probably put this down a little bit more before I start to try to cut it. It's funny because I've done a lot of planning with the tissue paper that's come in Be Happy boxes in the past, and it's never been this much of a struggle, but I guess also I've never filmed while doing it, so I've never really talked through it. It's gonna take a second to dry. And in that moment I just used white Jelly Roll pen to cover that part. I know I didn't cover here. Okay, now it should be a little bit easier to cut through. You know what, maybe let me grab my bigger scissors. Maybe that'll be easier. Oh yeah, that's easier. Okay. I think I probably need to put a little bit more sticky down there, but I'm going to stand up for a second and take a look. All right, these florals are really pretty. I'm happy with them. So now I'm just pulling out the 2 sticker books that came with this box because I'll probably use some more tissue paper somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure where yet, and I would like to use some of these stickers. So first I'm going to, I think, well, these are so pretty. Okay, they're so pretty. I'm scared to use them. Let me open functional. I'm still unsure about these. If you've used these stickers, let me know, because let's talk about them for a second. They are clear. They're not paper stickers. So I could probably write on them with a Sharpie pen, I think, and they won't smear. Or I could write underneath them. I probably won't do that. But the other option, which I don't love, but it may be the only option, is to cut out the middle with a knife like this. I don't know. That may be a little bit too scary for me. Okay. The circles may work for this. I think, let me see. They might be a little bit too small. I like these, but I used them in last week's classic spread. I mean, that doesn't mean that I can't use them again. I'm also taking out colorful shapes because maybe I'll get an idea in here. Okay, I think I'd like to use these hexagons from Colorful Shapes. So we're going to put one here. I probably could have put something there to not let the tissue paper show through as easily, but that's okay. All right, now I'm just double checking this size here because I don't want it to cover up any of this, but I'm also wondering if there's a way I can kind of layer this a little bit and show some more of this tissue paper through here. I think I can do it like this. Let's see. Let me see what happens when I just had my big scissors in my hand. Okay. So if I cut this part off, so that sticker kind of held that tissue paper down a bit. All right, that's good, but we're covering up the word for Wednesday. I think if I were to do this spread again, I would completely cover up the days of the week first, and then I would use something like maybe my Kel of a Plan sticker books, the days of the week stickers, to kind of put these down again. But it may be too late for that in this spread. Okay, I wonder if I can just put it directly on this tissue paper. Let's see. Oh, I think I put that tissue paper backwards because it's a lot lighter than this. I don't know if you're able to tell. What is it about me and horizontal spreads that when I'm doing a plan with me, I can just never get it together, or keep it together, I guess. Okay, what's next? So we still have several of these hexagons that I would like to use for this, unless there's maybe a quote in here. I think these are pretty much all florals. Although, you know what, I just remembered. Okay, I have this old thing of wax paper that I've kept by my planning stuff. And I have a couple of those. Let me see. No, I think just this one for now. So I have a couple of these pieces of wax paper that I've put stickers on in the past to use, and I just haven't used them. So this would be a really good opportunity for me to use these. So I'm going to put this down for now because I think I'll probably want to put more tissue paper here. This spread is definitely missing a quote, although I don't know, that tissue paper right there just kind of feels like I threw it down. So I'm gonna take some more Avery True Black, cover up that little notes part right there. Just going to stick this, just keep growing. I wanted to angle it, but that G is totally going to get cut off. Okay, just keep growing. I want to say just keep growing, growing, growing. And another possibility, keeping here the wax paper, is taking the sticker from, if I did circles, I definitely could use the sticker that sealed the box and put it there, but I don't really think that's going to go since I haven't used other florals. So I'm just gonna rip off a chunk of tissue paper now. And I think if I just kind of randomly put it down here and don't really plan it out, it's not like a box, it may look a little bit better. So, and if it doesn't, I'm just gonna have to go with it because that's what happens when I use my horizontal planner. But I will say, like, when I'm writing it and I'm actually using it, it works really well. Like, I have enough room to write. I'm not ignoring it because I don't want to write in it. So I am happy with it when it comes to filling it out. Okay, I'm just gonna make a box there for now. And then, let's see, is that the piece I wanted? That one has a hole in it, okay. A lot of tissue paper was lost in the making of this spread. No, not that one either. I'm just trying to be sure that whatever piece I put here is just kind of random and it's not like a perfect square. That's a little bit wrinkled. All right, we're making progress and I think we're getting close to the end. Cut that part off. That off. I think I'm going to, this is becoming a noisy plan with me, I'm going to just cover up these here with this Jelly Roll pen, just makes it a little bit cleaner. And while I let that dry for a moment, just weigh that down with the pen a little bit. I think I'd like to put some more, let me show you. I'd like to put some more tissue paper on this side. So I'm thinking maybe a little chunk right about here. Even if it's just like this. Actually, let me see for a second. If I kind of rip that area right there, that may work. Every time I move, here it is, every time I put something down, I lose my tape runner. I'm gonna stick that there. So I put the tape runner underneath that black line so that if I decide to kind of go with it this way, I know that I can still jump in here and cover up this black line, which I'm going to do. I think this box is my favorite, I think. I really love the Teresa Collins box. And then I loved the wild styled one. The wild styled, I think I've gotten the most, I was gonna say the most use out of, but I think I've probably gotten more use out of the Teresa Collins. Although I'm probably going to get a lot of use out of this box. All right, note to self, don't put the sticky down on top of the white Jelly Roll. That didn't work out very well. A little bit more. Okay, let me cut off this edge here. And my goal in this spread was, well, first to be able to use the tissue paper, but also I don't want it to look perfect. Like it's not supposed to be really clean cut or anything like that. It's just a fun way to use this tissue paper and get all the use out of the box, since this box did have less product than other Be Happy boxes. Okay. Let me get another line here. Okay. And then a little bit more down here. I think this part is the hardest part of the spread, is getting this sticky down right. All right, we're almost there together. Okay, move that tissue paper aside. Let me put a few more of these hexagons in. I can probably put one right up here. You know what? Oh, I'm just going to put, what was I thinking? I am just going to put these on the True Block because I don't really love how easily you can see through them. Okay, and then cut it out. All right, much better. So I think over here I'll probably put like a highlight of the day or just something noteworthy or memorable, because this is my wellness planner. And then let me just cut out, where was I going to put this one? Right over here? Okay. I think I'm just gonna put part of this down here so that you don't have to sit there and watch me cut through this whole hexagon. All right, perfect. Okay, now let's see. I think all that's left is just to, you know what, I was going to cut these out on camera, but you don't need to sit here and watch me do that. The reason was because I really just wanted to put it back on the disc and kind of see how it all came together. So let me put this one down. And then, you know what, this is tissue paper. I can just rip it, right? Nope, that was a bad idea. Don't do that, Elise. I'm just going to rip it down like this. I'll fix it before I post it on Instagram. Yeah, I kind of ruined it. That's okay. This was a fun spread, and yeah, I'm just really trying to make this this layout work, but I'm determined to, because like I said, it works for me when it comes to planning, and that's the part that's most important. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.